just gotta begin to chase a dream that is bigger than you.
Hi, my name is Amanda, and I'm here with Sarah and Haley today from Kanema Fitness, and we're going to take you through a fun 10-minute recovery with our Hyperice. And these are percussive tools, so even if you don't have a Hyperice, you're able to use it with whichever one you do have. So we're going to focus on what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and then we'll take you through each move. First, we're going to start at the bottom of their body with our feet. So we will have our percussive tool and make sure it is turned on, and you'll turn it on to the lowest setting. So usually most of them will have 2 to 3 settings, and you'll be able to pick the amount of force that you need, but starting it off with the first one is usually the best. So we'll take our foot right here. You can turn it in towards you, whatever feels comfortable, and we're gonna go in line, nice and light, in line with that big toe. So right on that outside, just going back and forth, keeping it mainly in the middle of the foot. That way we're not irritating the ball or the heels of the feet. Might feel a little ticklish, so feel free to keep it going as long as you need. If you need to take a break, that's okay. When using any of these percussive tools, it will just take a couple seconds. If you need a break, take one, but remember to always keep it moving. So we can try and transition it now towards the middle of the foot, and then shift it out towards that peaky side. These are great recovery tools. You can also use them for warm-ups if you have plantar fasciitis, any tight feet, anything like that, especially after working all day. This is a great tool to use. All right, so go ahead and slowly remove the tool from your foot. You can shake it out, shake out the toes, because now we're actually gonna move up the leg to the calf. And so find whatever position is comfortable for you. You can be sitting on the ground or in a chair. Knees bent, leg bent, whatever it is, so that you can get to the belly of the muscle. And so we're just gonna start placing it back on right at the top of the calf and then bringing it down. Right here on the back of the leg, you'll notice you'll have some tender spots. So behind the knee, you would want to avoid, and then also our Achilles right down towards the bottom of the foot. Those are very tender and tend to be very injury prone. So it's going on the body of the muscle of the calf. Most of the tightness will be up top here. So it's really shifting through, seeing what feels tight, always keeping the gun moving, and then maybe you might find a knot or two right at the top of the muscle. You can hold it there, and then just kind of roll around and see what feels good. And if you find a knot, hang on in that spot for a little bit, and then just keep it moving to the rest of the calf. You could also try and shift the percussive tool a little bit higher, but this is where we're heading into the shins. And so this is where we have a lot of bone and not a lot of muscle right in the front of the legs. So with any percussive tool, you want to avoid going directly over bones and directly going over any large injury areas. And then now from the calf, we'll slowly release the tool away from the body and extend that leg out. Now we're gonna work the front of the legs, the quads. All right, really large muscle here, and a lot of different things are going on. So it's placing it right in the middle and letting it go up and down. Just like we did for the calf, we avoided the back of the knee. Now we are avoiding the top of the knee. If we are working in an environment where you're sitting in a desk all day, a lot of these external muscles right here on our side of the leg can feel very tight. And so taking your time, just going up and down, little spaces through. As we get closer to the hip, you will, again, will want to avoid that bone and avoid that little pocket area. And since the quad is such a big muscle, you could go towards the inner thigh. You might have some tenderness there as well. And then also right on the outside. Nice, and just letting it go back and forth. Our muscles also will wrap around the knee, so heading closer to the knee, you might have some tenderness and soreness, as long as you're avoiding the bone itself, and just moving it nice and easy. Because now we are gonna shift towards the underside into our hamstring. So One way I like to do this is to kind of curve, bend both knees, and then so that inner thigh and hamstring is exposed. That way you can target it a little bit more. Again, these tend to be very tight muscles here on this side, so it's taking it nice and easy. Avoiding the back of the knee and then also the side of that knee right there. Nice. And we'll go ahead, relax on down, and then we can move onto that opposite leg. So now we're gonna head to the foot of that opposite leg. You could turn that foot in, place it on the thigh, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And then we're just rotating back and forth in the middle of that foot. Might feel ticklish, might feel weird. It is a different sensation that you might not be used to. And so just letting it go, adding pressure as needed. You really need minimal pressure with this. It is a great addition to any recovery or warm-up that you're doing. Will help increase blood flow. And now shifting towards that outside foot. Again, we wouldn't want to do the top of the foot because it's very bony. Nothing is really there for us, and it just end up hurting us in the end. And I'll slowly remove that. That way we can move on to the back of this calf. You can bend the knee, you can hang it off the side of a table, whatever feels best for you. Little shifts up and down. Again, avoiding the back of the knee and that Achilles and any of our protruding ankle bones. One side might feel a little bit more tender than the other, and that is okay. We have two sides, and so one will not always be the same as the other. So it's taking extra time on that tenderness, keeping it moving nice and easy, and not adding any unnecessary pressure. All right, and here we will extend that leg out, shake it out if it feels a little tingly, and then we're gonna start heading to the front of the quads. As we're going, like same thing as the other leg, large muscle, really take your time with this. See what feels good, see what different sensations you might have felt from the opposite leg. Again, avoiding that bony part of the knee, avoiding that hip bone just a little bit too much. And then as we are heading towards that inner thigh, we can bend that knee and shift ourselves so that we can get the hamstring as well. And even if this position is not comfortable, you can bend the knee and then engage the hamstring as well. If you have the flexibility for it, you could be laying on your stomach and having the gun rested on the back of the leg as well. Totally up to you. A lot of these you could do sitting or standing, so whatever is more comfortable. Your hands will feel a little shaky as well. It's gonna bring blood flow to the area that you are having the machine on. So it might feel a little itchy, might feel a little warm, and that's okay. That is the whole part of the healing process. All right, so now we're actually going to stand up and then start engaging our glutes and our hips a little bit more. And so with our glutes, we have a lot of muscles working, and so wanting to start in the largest area in the gluteus maximus, and it's kind of going up and down. You'll notice sometimes the tool might jump when you get a little bit higher, when you're hitting kind of that bony area of the pelvis. So just avoiding that as much as you can. Even if you want to target that glute and hamstring tie-in, that tends to be very tight for us. And then you can even shift it forward to the front of the leg. Nice, and always just remember to take your time with this. Hitting the top of the glutes, whatever might feel sore. And then just transitioning over to the other side. Working in that large muscle. Again, main things, avoiding the bones, any open skin areas. And then also avoiding areas that have some very important organs laying right underneath, especially in the chest, if you have a pacemaker, or in avoiding the chest area because of the heart as well. All right, and then from the glute, we actually head into the mid back and to that low back. And so with the low back, you wanna focus on two different sides. We have our spine right down the middle. Of course, we want to avoid that bony area. And then just hitting side by side. This will spread into our lats as well, which tend to be a very tight muscle. So go through this as best you can with your mobility and your flexibility. If you need help from a partner, you can always grab a friend and they can always help you out in the back as well. And we'll switch over to that other side. Nice and easy. And then one of our last spots we usually can grab is that back of the shoulder area and heading into the traps. Here, you just want to avoid that neck area and avoid any of the very bony shoulders. So it's a couple seconds on each side. Traps tend to be very tight. And then relax. And then switching sides. Good, and when you feel you're all set, go ahead, relax on down, and you can turn your tool off. And that is our 10-minute recovery with our Hyperice or any percussive tool you have. And just as a reminder, we do have a partnership with Hyperice that all Kinema members do receive a discount as well. My name is Amanda, and I'm here with Sarah and Haley, and we hope you enjoy this video, and we hope to see you soon.